Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Cinema.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we are taking a look at Nippon Zaibatsu.
Yes, and also kind of taking a look at Nippon, the original version of it, because Nippon is back. We are big fans of Nippon, so when we got the chance to take a look at this new version, we were like, yes, we want to do that. So this is obviously a prototype. This is obviously sent to us from the publisher. This is not a sponsored video, just so you know that. But we're going to talk to you about these different things, as always. Prototype components. Everything is prototype. There's going to be a normal version and a deluxe version in the crowdfunding campaign so that you can choose what you want to do. So some of these components are probably from the deluxe edition, and there's going to be differences. So go and check that out. In the deluxe, there's going to be more variability, more factories, more stuff like that. And I think there's going to be some metal coins as well. So you can check it out and see if you want to get the game, if one of those are going to be for you. First of all, do you like Nippon?
Yes.
Yes.
A lot. Nippon is a great game.
This video could have been very short.
Yes. It could be just like Go Back Nippon. Because it's been very hard to get a hold of before this new version.
Yeah.
So now it's available for a lot more people.
That is amazing, but we're not going to stop there. We're going to go through, I'm going to do an overview of how the game works if you've never seen the game before. Then we are going to talk a bit more about the changes from the original Nippon, which is one of our favorite games, to this version of Nippon. Hopefully it's going to be interesting both if you haven't played Nippon to just learn about the mechanisms, and if you have played Nippon to see some actual pretty big changes to the gameplay and the feel of the game. Very brief overview, I always say that, and we'll see how brief it's gonna be. This is a worker removal game, I kind of like to call it, but it's more of an action selection game with a worker twist, a color twist basically. You're gonna have different actions up here, and every time it's my turn, I'm gonna take a worker. Let's say I take this and I place it down. Oh, there already is a lot of workers on my track over there. That was probably a bad choice, but I'm going to take one of the workers, and from where I took the worker, I will choose one of the actions there to perform that action. You're going to continue doing that until you want to do a consolidation action. We are used to now worker placement games where we place out workers and we take them back. Here you kind of do the opposite. You take workers and then you place them back. So you are going to consolidate, you're going to get some bonuses, you're going to get the possibility to unlock a scoring, and then you are going to have to discard all your money and all your coal, and then you're going to get income, but then you're going to have to pay 3 coins. I'm going to say coins, 3 money, 3,000 money for every different color that you have. So right now choosing that 4th color probably wasn't the best idea.
I probably wanted to take that black meeple instead.
If I wanted to do that, I would have done that. You're going to continue playing. When one of these rows is empty, you fill it up with the next row. And when there's no more rows to fill up, then the round is kind of over and you continue playing. After every second time you fill up, you're going to do a scoring, because what you're doing in this game is that you're building factories. Those factories will produce resources. You will use those resources either to fulfill contracts or to send them out into Nippon. And you will do that by placing influence all around this map. And then after you get to the points where you're going to score for influence in the different regions. And later in the game, there's going to be higher and higher points for that. You have some trains you can build that's going to help you get more influence. You have ships that you can send away to the Iwakura mission to get some upgrades for the consolidation bonuses. You'll be able to build machinery so that the factories will be producing more resources every time you run them. And there's just like all of these things is the core of the game. You're going to get most of your points from doing the real majority, from your contracts, and also, as we said, from the end of game scoring, which I didn't explain. Every time you consolidate, you're going to take one of these depending on how far up you get. If you get 4, 5, or 6 workers, so you won't always force it up to get the most workers, but then you're going to have to try to get the fewest colors, because if you spend all your money that you just got for paying them, then it's not going to be that good. Then I'm going to unlock the scorings, and depending on if you have I'm going to call it level 1, level 2, or level 3 scoring, you're going to be able to score up here. For example, if I have a level 1 scoring up here, I would now score 5 points. If I get 2 more, I will score 10 points at the end of the game. And that is basically what you're going to do. It was kind of brief, but it was also like a full kind of overview of most of the things you're doing in the game.
Absolutely. And the core concept in the old and new version are the same.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like small tweaks here and there that doesn't really change the feel of the game. So it's clear to me that the designers has really looked at small balancing stuff as well. But there's also bigger changes that we're going to touch on.
Let's just briefly say a small change, which is a thing I usually like in games. It's different starting conditions.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get some tiles, an A and a B tile, and that's gonna you're gonna choose, and that's gonna decide what you start with. Both, or you might start with a machine, or you might start with a factory, or you might start with a train. You will start with a little different amount of points and money, and silk and iron or steel. Steel, I think it is. I'm very bad at remembering the name of resources. If you haven't seen this channel before, you can subscribe. You can subscribe to it.
Yes,
you can do it. We believe in you. But yeah, that is one of the changes that I do enjoy.
Absolutely, and talking about the core concepts, those are really solid.
Yeah.
Like this mechanism with the worker removal and choosing the actions. This is a really interesting thing about this game. This is my favorite thing.
Yes,
and also
it's the core.
Yeah, it's a core, and also placing out on these areas, trying to be tactical about what bonuses you want right now, but also being strategic, seeing where you can get just like sneak in before that scoring right now, but also where you can invest later. Really interesting.
And this is also like this, and this is my favorite part. And this is like high tension and a lot of interaction in this part of the game. Because also these different influence tokens, you only have a few of them. So, and I want to place a tree. I don't have any more trees. So I cannot place that. Then I will need to do something else to be able to place something. You will outbid other players. You will do, and you'll, it's looking good for me. Then you do one action with your very good factories, and you just like take me out of a different or a whole area. And there's just like so much tension in that. And these things are mainly the same. So just like for veterans who have played this game a lot, there is no more point scoring out here. This is lower, and you're getting the new steel resource.
So
that is basically
for placing.
the difference. Let's just, when we're here, let's just talk about the ships.
Yes.
Briefly before we go over to that, because it's going to make more sense. But basically, in the original, the ships were also out here, and they would add bonus points.
Yeah.
That's completely gone.
Yeah, it is. So the ships have a more like interesting part now, totally different from the original.
Because we didn't use them that much most of the time.
No, it's probably like when you play this a lot, you might play with ships. We didn't as much, but ships now are you're sending them out here, and you basically unlock the better bonus tiles for this. So when you do a consolidation action later, you will, depending on which colors you have placed here, be able to get a better bonus than before.
And you get a one-time boost of a virtual worker, which is just going to fill up a space in your slot. So probably you want to go for one that you already got a color of because of money. So let's talk about the consolidation, because this is one of the biggest changes of the game. And in the original, when you I'm going to call it reset. When you reset, you were going to choose a bonus, and those bonuses were the same for all the people.
Yeah.
And those bonuses had a multiplier on them, so it was like multiplier of 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the more workers you had, the better bonus you could choose. And you got like a bonus of what was called blueprints before, which is silk now, money, and coal. And you wanted to get there first. You really want to get there first, because you want to get the biggest multipliers, and you also want to get the bonus that you very much needed. That was like a race. It was feeling like a tension. That is kind of done, but it is exchanged with a less interactive but also very interesting puzzle.
Yeah, I really like the puzzle that it's become. So in this case, I have started with a gray worker, which in this case would net me 2 steel.
Yeah.
And also I have ended with a red worker, which will give me 2 silk. If it would look like this, that I started and ended with the same color, I would only get that bonus once. So that's something to think about. And also, maybe I will change the order I do my actions in, or take an additional color that I have to pay for just because I really want to silk. I have to pay extra for that worker, but I really want that bonus.
And this is great. I really like this. I cannot tell you what I like the most because I've played the original Nippon many times. So for me, it's kind of like that is how it's always been.
Yeah.
So it's very hard for me to say that because like right now the thing is I really like this.
Yes.
But I really like the tension and the race feeling of the original.
Yep.
So it's hard for me. That's basically like a you thing.
Yeah.
It's very hard for me. And right now it's very hard for me to say what I like the most because one thing's always been there and one thing is new. So it's both like, oh, this is new and shiny, but also like, but this thing was very good. So it's kind of like a in-between thing for me. But all in all, I think this is a very pleasant and different way to do it.
Yeah, I really like this way of doing it. I think this is really clever. So I think I like this the most, but I really like the original as well.
The biggest change for me, and this is the one I am the most unsure about, is the final scoring. Again, I'm gonna like caveat this by saying I've played this other a ton. And I know it very well, and I love that part of the game.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to completely love a new way of changing that completely, but it is the final scoring and the way that you do that. Because one of my favorite mechanisms, and I think yours as well, is make your own scoring.
Yeah.
Is choose what is going to score in your game. And let's just take a brief look at the original player board. I love this artwork, by the way, but I really think this is beautiful.
Yes.
And as you see, this is a bigger, so just when we do this is interesting, because this is bigger, but it has space for all the factories.
Yes.
So it's not really that much bigger.
No.
And like there's also space for the machines.
Machines.
And also this takes more space for the consolidation.
Yes.
But the interesting thing is that the board
Oh yeah, the board.
is actually bigger in the old version. It looks like this. It's actually a lot bigger. I'm not putting it down because I'm going to screw up everything under there. So that is nice. I just want to let you know that when we're talking about this. So back to the final scoring. In the original, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different scorings.
Yep.
And 2 of them already scoring you once. So basically it's a multiplier. So here it's going to be 1 point for every 6,000 coins and money I have at the end of the game. And these are for stars, so let's say like for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th ship or a train that I build. And others are points for every different area that you're in, every second machine, doesn't really matter. But the big thing that's changed is that here you can get a double multiplier, or a 3 times, 4 times, and 5 times. So I'm feeling that I'm choosing very big what I'm going to score for.
Yes.
I choose that I'm going to go very heavy if I get a 5 very early, which is kind of nice, but then I will very much have to do that thing. But I'm trying to get that 5 because in the old one it's a race, so I'm going to need to get that 5 before you take all the 5s. Not going to happen, but it's like it's a race for those. And I'm feeling like I'm building up different strategies based on that. In the new one, you have like it's not actually a 1, 2, and 3 multiplier, but it's a level 1, level 2, and level 3. And for all of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tracks, they're the same. So there's only 2 different levels that you can get to. So as I said earlier, right now in the machines, if I have a level 1, I'm gonna get 5 points. And then there's nothing, and I build 1 more, and I will get more points. And when if I have level 2, it's 8 points, and if I have level 2, it's 10 points. And those are the same for those 6. And that works well, because you will have to like focus on those things. It doesn't feel for me, and this might be a feeling thing.
Yeah.
And like, because we have not played this like 10 times.
No.
Just so you know that. But it doesn't feel as, I'm going to say a weird word, swingy. It doesn't feel as important.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I agree. I felt like this was more of a commitment to a thing, and it felt more risky because sometimes you, with this as well, you take one of the bonus tiles very early on, and you don't know really what is going to happen in the game. You're trying, okay, this time I'm going to go for this. Yep. And the game happens and you're not going for this, or you go more, you place a low scoring tile, and you do that a lot. So yeah, that can happen in the new version as well, but I felt it even more in the old one.
The biggest thing, which is again a caveat of us not playing this 1,000 times, and very interesting to see how this plays out, is that the scoring for the contracts that you do and the factories feels a lot simpler. They feel like very easy to max out because here you only need 4 factories or 4 contracts to score 20 points at the level 3. And 20 points what you get for building 5 trains or 5 of these getting to the top here, which is hard.
Yeah.
Getting to the top of the money track is hard. And if you do that, get to the top of the money track, the chance that you have done more than 4 contracts, which is the main way of moving up on a money track, is like 100%.
Oh yeah. Building factories and fulfilling contracts
It's kind of the game.
Is an essential part of the game, and you can say that for many of the elements here as well. But you don't have to. Oh, you switch the places between the boats and the trains. I just thought it was funny. You don't have to build any trains.
No.
You don't have to build any boats. You should
Probably
should, but you're not getting anywhere in this game without a factory.
No,
but you are without a boat.
And most games, I am doing at least 3 factories. So then building 1 extra in the last round to go from 12 to 20 points.
Yeah, and also
it's simple.
Yeah, and also the factories give you bonuses and special abilities and sometimes final scoring as well. So you're not just building a factory to get those points. You're also building a factory to get the benefits that a factory gives you. Yeah, a factory costs a lot of money, 6 to be exact, or 6,000. But I agree with you. I think those 2 scorings felt very much more accessible than and also a safe bet compared to the tracks.
So I would have liked this to be different, and also because when you go from there, you get 2 and 4 more points.
Yeah, that's not very exciting, but maybe it's to balance out the big jump here. I don't know. The designers have clearly thought about this
100%.
and played this a million more times than we have done. So I absolutely trust in the process, but this is our initial feelings about that.
I'm very interested to see where this lands and to get like to understand this. That is like, this is my main gripe with the new one. But with that said, it's a fantastic game.
Yes.
I love everything about this game. But this is the thing I'm most unsure about. But other than that, I really like it. So the conclusion kind of is that most of these things are very good.
Yes.
And I think that if you haven't played Nippon, you're not going to go and think about this being, because you don't know the other thing, and you're not going to think about the other thing. And you're not going to miss it, because it's just like, most of it's probably going to be like, oh, it's my grumpy old man playing the old version because it's the old version.
Everything was better before.
Yes, not true, but
Not
in some
true.
cases true. But I think Nippon is a great game. That is like my baseline for everything I said in this video. And if anything that is interested you, you can check out the crowdfunding. Do you have anything to add to the end of the video?
No, I agree with you. If you haven't played Nippon and you're looking to buy it, this is great. Go buy it because it's an amazing game. And if you have it before, check out the differences.
Yeah.
It's personal preference, but I'm very happy and pleased with the new version.
And that's it. We hope that this video helped you to find out if this might be a game to back. And if you're not going to back it, there's other games you can back as well. One thing you should do is
subscribe,
because it's
free
and it's
fun
and it's
cake.
Yay! That's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Cinema.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.